Welcome to the Aviva Premiership Sitrep with Driving Mall. So Saracens finished the league on top and will have a home semi-final with their win, but that was already secured. Obviously next weekend they've got the Champions Cup final as well. Exeter got a very good win over Quins and so held on to their second place, and so for the first ever time they're in the playoffs and will get a home semi-final, so that'll be good for all those guys down in Sandy Park. Wasps also got a win, but it wasn't enough in the end to take second, so they finished third and will be visiting Exeter Chiefs, which is a replay of a game a couple of weeks ago where Exeter were fully on top, so it'll be interesting to see what Wasps have learnt from that. But at home, I think Exeter will probably go into as favourites for that one. Tigers did finish fourth, and they kind of knew they were going to, and will be visiting Saracens in the playoffs. Something like 12 years on the trot now they've made the playoffs, which is a phenomenal achievement. Saints did enough to secure themselves a Champions Cup slot, but must go down as being a disappointing season. They didn't make the playoffs for the first time in a few years. So but hey, at least they're up there. Sale got a railway win against Falcons and also took sixth. But it was definitely their home form that secured them their Champions Cup spot, not really not their away form this season. That's what they'll have to look at for next season. Quins, with that loss to Exeter at home, slipped out of the Champions Cup slots into seventh. Obviously, they still have the opportunity of winning the Challenge Cup next weekend, which will give them a Champions Cup slot where they play Montpellier over in Lyon in France. The next crowd really. This is their season over, the season was probably over for most of these anyway. Gloucester had an outside chance of making seventh, and then if Quins were in the top six, they would, and also then won the Challenge Cup, they would have got a Champions Cup slot, but it was a long shot for them. Bath, Wasps, and Falcons, their season's been over for a week or a couple of weeks now, really, and they sit in the same spots they had before. And obviously, London Irish finished disappointingly with a loss, and so they will go down to the Champions, the whatever it's called, the Championship. That's what I'm for. Down as long as Bristol don't get promoted, but that's looking unlikely as they had that big loss. So that's how the Premiership has finished. Obviously, we'll have the playoffs, the semi-final playoffs in 2 weeks, where Saracens host Tigers and Exeter Chiefs will be hosting Wasps.